your pictures all the time.
He's very sweet. Oh, that was off. Okay, now. We're going right here. Great. Here, friends, we'll gather around the Shabbat candles over here. We do this new setup on nights where we're not sure how many people are coming, so that we can easily go one direction or the other. Mm-hmm. You want to kick us off with a nigun?
Yai lai 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 lai,
Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai yai lai lai, yai lai 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 yai lai lai,
yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. A little change of pace for the start of services. So we'll light candles out here. We'll do some meditation back in the chapel to center ourselves for the actual service. But for now, if Susan Shear will light our Shabbat candles, and then Jess will lead us in our blessing. So we welcome in that Shabbat light and love and warmth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
When you head back into the chapel, we'll be on page 142 for Shalom Aleichem to welcome the Sabbath bride, angels. First the angels, so welcoming the Sabbath angels. But if you want to light Shabbat candles before you head into the chapel space, please do so at this table, and we'll walk and sing Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bolachem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem L'Shalom,
Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There it is. One more time. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, this side of the room. Thank you, Jeremy. Or no, Joel. That's Joel. Hi, Joel. Where's Jeremy? He's around? Okay, good, good. Shabbat Shalom to this side of the chapel. Thank you. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom to this part of the chapel. Okay, we've Shabbat Shalom. We're good, we're good. Friends, for our prayer book tonight, we're using Mishkan Tefillah. Please use the one that's connected to your chair. Otherwise, somebody's going to be without one in the front row, if anybody joins the front row. So we'll be using that prayer book tonight. If you guys need to step out of the chapel, right where you came in, and we have our exit over there as well. Take a second, if you didn't have a chance to do so yet, put those smartwatches on silent, turn off the alarms, put your phone on silent, all of that so we can just be present together. Rabbi Rachel here. Cantorial soloist Jessica Tillum. Take a second, turn to somebody that you did not drive here with, introduce yourself, a little Shabbat Shalom, and we'll join back in a second. Full toddler. Just go. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Va'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham anachnu barech Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. Words from our Torah portion this week in Parashat Truma. More on that later, but all about building our sanctuary this week. And so, friends, to make sure that we are fully present in this space and ready for our service, let's take a second, feet on the floor or back against the chair or both. We'll take some centering breaths to help us leave behind the week that was and enter Shabbat. So we take a deep breath in, let it out. The busyness of the week is done. We're preparing for Shabbat. Deep breath in. We let it out. One more breath so we can be our best self. Deep breath in. We let it out. We flutter our eyes open, turning to page 138. That last breath helping us be our best selves to welcome that Sabbath bride, that most beautiful image we can have of a godliness in this world, to welcome Shabbat, V'chadodi. Page 147, we join together at the top of the page. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within him. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. Together, there is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. Baruch Hu, 146.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
The evening has rolled in, the darkness is here, but we bring a little light with our voices. Roll into dark, our Mariv Aravim on the back inside cover. If there's a sticker.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Page 152. Jess, I'm gonna have us go a little rogue here.
Okay.
We're gonna do the one breath.
Oh, okay.
So I'll lead us in for that. And so what I call the one breath are, we do it with the religious school kids a lot. It's not a kid thing though, it's an adult thing. It's an everybody thing. And that's to give one full breath for each of the first 6 words of Shema, and then we finish the next 6 words together. And especially when we have a group like this, where you can really start to pick out different voices, you'll feel it in just a minute. So if you want really feel those feet on the floor, close your eyes and we'll join together. Shema Yisrael Adonai seated. Join together, continuing these words of Shema with Ve'ahavta, page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, veshinantam levanecha, vedibarta bam, veshivtecha beveitecha, ulechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beineinecha, uktavtam, Al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 157, let's pray together at the bottom of, or rather, let's pray responsively at the bottom of the page. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. And though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Our prayer of redemption, our freedom song, Micha Mocha, page 158. Page 160, we have Ashkivenu, our prayer asking for God's sheltering presence of peace. We'll join together, pray these words at the bottom of the page. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And we turn to page 162, and we have our prayer for Shabbat v'shamru. Of course, reminding us that we have these 25 hours, what do I always say, to soak up the holy vitamins. Okay? That energy in the air, that thing that we need, that essence, that our extra soul that we receive on Shabbat, that it craves, that it comes out of us so that it can rest and recharge us, so that it can, when it departs at Havdalah, we still have enough energy to take us through the rest of the week. Vishamru 162.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי
164, we have our Amidah. I'd ask that you please rise as we join together.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, B'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'imahot, U'mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav leHoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mechayei emunato, Lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, u'midol melech, melech meimit u'mechayei, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasala, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Take a few moments for silent prayer and meditation. When you've completed those prayers, either in our book or of your heart, after those are complete, I invite you to have a seat.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Va'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham, v'anachnu nevarech Yah me'atah ve'ad olam.
All right, friends. So we have this nice time, this nice space to share some good going on in our lives. So it's a nice chance to say who you are and what's good. So for example, Rabbi Rachel and Ozzy is now 4 months old today, and Zohara is still Zohara. So all is well, all is well. Who has something lovely to share?
Jerry Penn and our niece had a little baby boy on Valentine's Day, and she named him after my father, whose yard site is today.
Wonderful.
So pretty special, yeah.
Thank you. You've got something.
Norman Zoller. Yesterday, I began my 85th anniversary around the sun.
Yes, happy birthday. Any takers? Any takers? Jeremy, anything good? Okay. All right. Jess, anything good your way?
Good life, yeah.
Just a regular week, guys. Okay, we can still bless it. Let's turn to page 648, Shachianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman
That's still out of order on my outline. Julie, will you come on up, please, to share with us some announcements? She is a part of our board of trustees. She was like, oh, yes, the rabbi forgot. No, didn't forget, just in the wrong spot.
Okay. Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hello. As she said, I am Julie Weiser, and I'm honored to be a member of the Board of Trustees. Welcome to our guests, all congregants tonight. While you're here this evening, if you're visiting or a new member, please introduce yourself to me, to the rabbi, to any of our congregants. We'd love to meet you. Thank you to our ushers, Shelley and Bob Anton. Thank you to all the congregants who bake for tonight's oneg. Please check the weekly TE events and programming email on Mondays for more details of upcoming events. However, a few fun things for you to note. Stay tuned for the fun events coming up in Adar. Brotherhood Texas Hold'em is February 22nd. Uncovering the Hidden Message of Purim, the class with Rabbi Rachel, starts February 27th. The Purim Carnival with a Cause is March 24th. Mark your calendars for our third annual Spring Forward on April the 13th. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Julie.
Hama
Nobody told me I was off. How long have I been off? I have battery. I just turned it off and forgot to turn it back on. Sorry, everybody online. My bad. Hopefully you could hear Jess beautifully. So our time in the service now is, in addition to thinking of the hostages, we say Misha Berach for those in need of other kinds of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit, of relationship. And so we're thinking especially of Rob Gilbert, Charlie Cohn, Kaska Mishkogi, Aaron Silverman, Leslie Greenberg, Jeffrey Syme, Evan Alberhaski, Ali Diaz, Zoe Diaz, Ken Scheffer, Karnina Michal Bat Yitzchak Betova, Jennifer Herman, Mark Lodinger, Yehudit Bat Yocheved, Aharon Ben Batya, Jeffrey Crispo, Barbara Chalif, Ethan Berkowitz, and Ivan Burzak. If you're saying Misha Berach for somebody this evening, I invite you to share that name aloud as my eyes meet yours. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We turn to page 371 and we rise. If your neighbor's okay with it and they're good with an arm around, let's put an arm around as we join together in these words. Please be seated. As we enter the back half of the book of Exodus, I want to remind us where we are in the story in case we missed a few Shabbats here and there. So the Israelites at this point are out of Egypt and they're journeying through the wilderness, heading toward the promised land. They've already spent time complaining about their lack of food. They've encountered Amalek and defeated his people. Moses has gotten married, Mazel Tov, and he's already sought advice from his father-in-law, Yitro, to help with the burnout of leadership, because he's already burned out. The Israelites have received the 10 Commandments 2 weeks ago, and in last week's Torah portion, it concluded with Moses ascending the mountain and remaining there for 40 days and 40 nights. So like I said, if you haven't been to shul in a while, you're all caught up, Mom. So all of that brings us to this week's Torah portion, Truma. And while in the presence of God up on the mountain, Moses receives the instructions for building the tabernacle. And the tabernacle is going to be the sanctuary in which God will dwell as the Israelites continue their journey. Aha, Rabbi, that's why you had Jessica sing us and pray with us that beautiful song. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. Yeah, this Torah portion. Okay, so his future encounters with God would now occur, or they're going to occur, in this tabernacle, in this sanctuary. And Moses would no longer have to ascend the mountain in order to speak with God. The instructions for the tabernacle are mostly clear. God says, tell the Israelites, bring me gifts. You're going to accept gifts for me from every person whose heart is so moved. Now, God isn't looking to be surprised by these gifts. It's like today's baby registries and wedding registries. God provides a very specific list here. And God tells Moses, accept the gifts, gold, silver, and copper, blue, purple, crimson yarn. The list goes on. And with these gifts, let the Israelites make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. And from this point forward, the portion includes all the teeny tiny details for constructing the tabernacle, the ark, and the furnishings. And if we're honest with ourselves, the minutia of the details for the remainder of the portion, pretty mundane. Instructions like, the length of the enclosure shall be 100 cubits, and the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits with hangings of fine twisted linen. Okay, it doesn't exactly speak to our lives today unless we're out building some IKEA furniture. And that doesn't really come with good instructions anyway. But when we zoom out from the details, that's when we remember that the instructions begin with a desire for the Israelites to create a place, a space for holiness. The Torah portion reminds us to find and even create holiness in the mundane of our lives. That when we are moved by our heart to bring a gift to another person, even if they're the ones who asked for it in the first place, there is something that shifts the moment from mundane to holy, chol to kadosh. And while the text was talking about physical gifts, we know that the gifts of kind words and deeds can hold the same, if not more, holiness to them. So let's take, for example, the gift of connection. The number one thing I tell couples wanting to enhance their connection to one another, Valentine's Day was this week, is to start saying the Shema together at night before sleep. And I can tell you I've never had anybody come back to me and say, Rabbi, why did you have us do this? What a terrible practice. We got nothing out of it. It's never happened. The act of going to sleep is pretty mundane. We all have various routines, whether reading a book, scrolling on our phones for too long, watching a little TV, jotting down a journal entry. But when we take a moment to pause these mundane tasks and bring God into our lives and our places of rest, something changes about that space. You can feel it. And what is that feeling? I call it holiness. And by the way, you don't need a partner to create this holy moment. Anyone can take a few moments before falling asleep. Less than 10 seconds, more if you do it that one breath way we did tonight. But just speaking the words, it's less than 10 seconds, 12 words. And suddenly there is a new spark of holiness in your life because you've recited Shema. And when we bring God into the mundane of our lives, there is a little more holiness in the world. We feel more grounded. We feel more in touch with ourselves, perhaps with a partner, and maybe, just maybe, with God. It was God who asked the Israelites to give to him the gift of the sanctuary. Some say it was so that God could dwell among the Israelites in the space. Others say it was that through their collective gift giving, the Israelites could be reminded of the power that we all have to create holiness within our lives and for God to dwell inside each of us, wherever we may go. And so my hope is that we all find ways to create these holy moments, even from the mundane of our lives. Ken yehi ratzon, may it be God's will, and may you remember to recite Shema before bed. Shabbat shalom. So we'll begin to start concluding our service, and then to roll our Kiddush cart. Didn't make it all the way in yet. It is not alcoholic grape juice. That would be called wine. David, would you mind passing out some cups for me? Friends, yes, you can. It's grape juice. We're going to be on page 123 as we rise for Kiddush. Oh, I didn't get Jess one.
Oh, I don't, it's fine.
Here
You can pretend. I don't need, I
You're
don't need the
You're
chalice.
singing it. There you go.
Last time I spilled it a little bit.
Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinkilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit Ki hu yom tehila lamikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Ki vanu bacharta ve'otanu kidasha mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon Inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen.
Chaim Libracha. Jeremy and Joel, do you guys want to help me open the ark tonight? Sure. Come on up. We'll remain standing for Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 586. Jeremy, you're going to stay? All right. Joel, you'll get this door, and I'll get this door. Thank you.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol lateit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu kamishpachot hadama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kecho hamonam v'anachnu korim Umishtachavim umodim Lifnei melech Malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'nemar V'haya Adonai Lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad.
Thank you. Please be seated. And we will conclude our service as we do each week in memory. Let's turn to page 594 first. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. And this week we are thinking of those in a period of Shloshim for Rabbi H. Philip Berkowitz, Robert Hochberg, and Herbert Germanok. And those observing yahrzeits for Hilda Alberhasky, Evelyn Alperin, Daniel Adam Bayer, Fanny Barron, Solomon Benaroch, Theodore Blyman, Ned B. Cohen, Marvin Davis, Emma Elkanah, Alan Elster, Alan Eisen, Morris Friedman, Irma Gerson, Jerome Gerson, Sanford Goldberg, Rose Goldberg, Samuel E. Held, Rosalind Ruth Hirschberg, Marie L. Howard, Lois Claire Eisenberg, Eli West Jacobs, Jerry Katz, Edward Kiliski, Frida Mednick, Isidore Meisner, Linda Pearl, Stanley Pearl, Joel L. Peril, Joel L. Peril, Sydney Rosen, Harvey C. Sable, Ruth Schwartz, Lester Seidel, William Summerstein, Norman Stoyer, William R. Stolmack, James A. Williams, and Ruth Yanchuk. There is a name I inadvertently skipped or mispronounced. I invite you to share that name at this time. Thank you. Thank you. If you're in the first 30 days mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to rise so we can recognize you. The first year, you'd bet mourning the loss of a loved one, to rise so we can recognize you. If you're commemorating a yahrzeit death anniversary of a loved one, to rise so we can recognize you. And if it is your custom to rise for Mourner's Kaddish, as it is here at Temple Emanu-El, please do so now. The words of Kaddish Yatom are on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yahei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei d'kudashah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We, in just a second, we'll do a little voila. It really adds drama to roll it. Voila to our challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. I think I got baked on like an edge.